The title that was showcased during the Game Awards show, which no one asked for, has come out to a wall of hatred because, quote, we didn't ask for another hero shooter. Despite this, I want to try and highlight some of the good aspects before delving into the raw side of the community. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely dislike this title, but as a person who wants to celebrate titles that don't have any AI generation, as far as I'm aware, I want to try and give this title the benefit of the doubt that they will improve based upon feedback. So, let's find out why Highguard is under fire. Starting off, the title is free to play, meaning it's a case of trying the title and seeing how it goes. However, with all free to play titles, you can expect the new norms of microtransactions. The skins don't exactly appeal to the eye and are rather generic for the pricing. As we load into the title, we are presented with a tutorial, which is forced and is arguably a huge waste of time. It doesn't teach you anything, it just gives you the basics and then drags it out for a very long time. Instead, it should have given people the chance to skip the firing range, purely because if you're targeting an audience of people who are first-person shooters, why do we need to learn to shoot? I'm fairly certain the majority of the gaming community are aware of shooting mechanics at this stage. We don't need hand-holding when it comes to shooting targets and learning how to throw grenades. Instead, I think the game should have just given you straight access to the game with the option to jump into the tutorial or the firing range before proceeding, i.e. to check your frame rate and everything else like that. Not one to compare the style of the game to a MOBA, but it does have a lot of aspects that cross over. In fact, to point out a few, we have Rainbow Six Siege, Apex Legends, Overwatch, and a sprinkling of Deadlock. You get to fortify your base, find chests containing armor, helmets, and weapons, barrels full of ammo and utility items, a currency which must be farmed from on-map crystals, and a shop for you to browse from a Temu-looking Captain Price. I also believe the VA is the same one who was Blisk from Titanfall 2. Either way, the genre mishmash, it kind of creates a game that, in a sense, is unique and familiar, which in theory would be the best approach to encourage a variety of players, both competitive and casual. But it just doesn't work. Especially when the performance issues with the game are impacting not only PC players but console too. It's becoming a norm that people are using Unreal Engine 5 to make games, but have no clue how to optimize them. The performance of the shaders, the textures, and other key parts of the graphics are impacted. We have, at the time of recording, no option to disable motion blur. I believe that may have been patched in a future patch. We'll see. As a community, most people disable anything to do with motion blurring, whether it be weapon or just standard motion. It's always off. Same with shadows and other non-crucial graphical looks, because if the game is meant to be marketed as a competitive shooter, it shouldn't be looking like a cinematic game. We should be able to push over 300 frames a second comfortably on 6-year-old plus hardware. Instead, most people are relying on pushing at least 100 frames using DLSS or FSR. Even Shroud has had to reduce the graphical fidelity just to get the game stable, which of course highlights a major issue. This game should have released as an open beta first, just to get a feel from the community. That way they could iron out the issues, find out what the community likes and dislikes about the title, and implement the changes. But instead, we've got a push for launch and a wall of hatred, which begs the question, do we really know what we want? As far as I'm aware, a standard of release has not been made since Nintendo's seal of approval. The only distributor that makes users aware about AI is currently Steam, which of course they're in hot water for from the AI bros. Not only that, but the lawsuit they're facing for a, quote, monopoly on gaming, but that's something I'll keep an eye on for now. We have to remember that a lot of the team who worked on Apex Legends and Titanfall were let go from EA, which was approximately 100 employees. Are these the same team? Most likely, which shouldn't be a pass for a subpar game, but instead this should be a cautionary endeavour. If your project gets cancelled from a publisher and you bring what was cancelled out again, then bringing in any kind of fresh IP carries risk, especially in today's gaming climate. Critics in every corner of the internet already to give their opinion, including myself. I left a review shortly after completing the tutorial and playing 2 games worth of gameplay before feeling exactly how I felt about the title. Quote, "So initial impressions are that this could have spent a little more time in the oven, purely because of how poorly optimized this is. It feels so janky, and for an FPS in this scope, you should be pulling away with over 300 frames per second comfortably on most mid-spec machines. The gunplay feels okay, wouldn't say it's groundbreaking or new. The core mechanics are very confusing, and I honestly think the tutorial is a waste of time. Unfortunately, having from the creators of Apex Legends and Titanfall doesn't give you a free pass on pushing such a subpar game. The maps are oversized for a 3v3, and I think they could have reduced them to be more like a 5v5 format. It doesn't have a lane system, instead it's a large field with some buildings here and there. I'm a long-time fan of the Titanfall franchise, and I'm honestly disappointed with this. It shouldn't have released it this soon. Instead, could have made this release as an open beta to get a feel from the community. It's like a bipolar MOBA with ponies and recycled characters. I honestly do not recommend this title in its current state. I hope with future updates it will grow to become more stable, but let's be honest. Free to play is based upon how many people buy skins in order to see it as a viable release in air quotes. Now, I want to express that this review was off the cuff of the release, and I still haven't changed my mind, despite reinstalling the game to capture footage for the video. It's had a few hotfixes since, and it's gradually changed from overwhelmingly negative to mixed. Does this mean I will change my review now? No. I think a first impression is forever lasting. Of course, I want to celebrate a title that has no use of AI, but if this is what humans can do, then we have a long way to go before something groundbreaking comes along again. You can usually recall a title that blew you away, including Titanfall 2, but this is just a quick push for a project that is designed to try and see how it goes. I originally wanted to wish Wildlight Entertainment the best of luck for trying to steer the ship around to release another project, but this is not likely to happen. It's like being greeted with a door greeter with your pants by your ankles. Everyone is watching but is also concerned, especially now with the majority of the dev team being laid off. Do I have high hopes for Highguard? No. I reckon it will be sunset soon. And that will be that for Wildlight Entertainment. Which is a shame. But you knew what you were going to get into. And with that, I do want to thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, for more content in your feed, be sure to hit the bell icon. So I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.